The night of February 9, 2004, was a bone-chillingly cold one in the remote, often overlooked town of Haverhill, New Hampshire. The kind of night where you'd huddle inside by the fire, not the kind where you'd venture out into the dark. On this night, however, a single-car accident on Route 112 would become the starting point of a baffling mystery, a mystery that continues to baffle investigators, her family and friends, and internet sleuths to this day. What happened to Maura Murray, a vibrant and intelligent 21-year-old nursing student, on that fateful, frigid night? Maura Murray's story begins on May 4, 1982, in Brockton, Massachusetts. According to Wikipedia, she was the fourth child of Frederick and Laurie Murray and had a loving, close-knit family that included two older sisters, an older brother, and a younger half-brother. Raised in a traditional Irish Catholic household, Maura distinguished herself early on as an exceptional athlete, particularly in track and field. Her discipline and determination led to her being accepted into the prestigious United States Military Academy at West Point. However, as noted on the Charlie Project website, West Point wasn't quite the right fit for her, and she transferred to the University of Massachusetts Amherst after 3 semesters. There, she pursued her passion for nursing, which seemed to suit her quiet, compassionate, and caring personality. The days preceding Maura's disappearance were far from ordinary. They were a mix of unsettling occurrences, quiet preparations, and a growing sense of unease that seemed to build with each day. According to the Wikipedia page, just 3 months before her vanishing act, she admitted to using a stolen credit card to order food at various local restaurants, an uncharacteristic behavior that resulted in a minor charge, later to be dismissed for good behavior. Then, on February 5, 2004, while working her campus security job, Maura had a troubling phone call with her older sister, Kathleen. During this call, Kathleen, who was struggling with alcoholism, revealed that she had had a relapse on that day. Maura was said to have been visibly distraught after this call, breaking down in tears and becoming unresponsive at work. As noted by the Charlie Project, her supervisor was so concerned that they escorted her back to her dorm room, but were unable to get an explanation. Days later, on February 7th, her father, Fred, visited her on campus, and they went car shopping together and had dinner with a friend. Maura then crashed her father's car the following day while returning from an on-campus party, resulting in nearly $10,000 in damage to the vehicle. The accident occurred late at night, and there is no documentation stating whether a sobriety test was conducted. On the day of her disappearance, February 9th, Maura's actions paint a picture of someone methodically planning a journey that for all intents and purposes, no one knew anything about. According to both Wikipedia and the Charlie Project, after midnight, she used her personal computer to search MapQuest for directions to the Berkshires and Burlington, Vermont, indicating she was considering a getaway to those areas. The source, Wikipedia, notes that Maura then emailed her boyfriend, expressing that she wanted to talk to him later, but had not felt like talking to anyone at that time, and also left a voicemail for a nursing colleague that day. Throughout the day, Maura made several seemingly routine phone calls. The sources state that Maura also called a number that provides information on hotels in Stowe, Vermont, although she did not end up booking a room there. Then, in the early afternoon, Maura packed a range of belongings into her car, carefully including her clothing, textbooks, and even birth control pills, indicating a trip that she was planning for a few days. Before leaving, Maura sent an email to her work supervisor stating she would be out of town for a week due to the death of a family member. This was a lie, as no death had occurred in her family. She also withdrew $280 from an ATM and purchased around $40 worth of alcohol from a nearby liquor store, the CCTV footage showing that she was by herself in both of these instances. The last known sighting of Maura on campus was at 3:30 p.m., when she drove off in her black 1996 Saturn sedan. Classes at the university had been cancelled for the day due to a snowstorm, and the reason for her abrupt departure remains a mystery. The time was sometime after 7 p.m., when a resident living along the often quiet Route 112 in Woodsville, New Hampshire, heard an alarming, loud thump outside her home. Looking out her window, she witnessed an unsettling scene. Maura's car was up against a snowbank on the side of the road, facing west, seemingly as a result of a sharp turn. The source, Wikipedia, notes that the woman who called the police had initially stated she thought she saw a man smoking a cigarette in the car, but later recanted this, saying that she had actually seen a red light glowing from inside the car, which she believed was from a cell phone. Moments later, a passing motorist, who was a school bus driver, stopped to see if he could offer any assistance to the young driver. He noted that while the driver, who was determined to be Maura, had no visible injuries, she was shivering, likely from the bitter cold. Maura refused his help and asked him not to call the police, stating that she had already called AAA, an apparent lie which has been disproven. Concerned for her well-being, the bus driver called the police immediately after he got home. By the time the police arrived at 7:46 p.m., Maura had vanished from the scene, leaving behind a mystery that has only deepened with the passing years. The doors were locked. Inside the car, as detailed in both Wikipedia and the Charlie Project, police found a range of items including a damaged box of Franzia wine, an empty beer bottle, a AAA card issued to Maura, blank accident report forms, gloves, makeup, and, even more heartbreakingly, her favorite stuffed animal. Her cell phone, credit cards, and bank cards were missing from the car. There were no footprints in the snow around her car, indicating that she didn't venture far. Further solidifying the mystery, search dogs lost her scent within just 100 yards of the scene, adding to the suspicion that she got into another vehicle or was taken. Police initially labeled Maura's case as a missing person, speculating that she may have wanted to disappear voluntarily. They felt that there was no evidence of foul play. But for many, the circumstances surrounding Maura's disappearance were simply too unsettling to be overlooked. Her meticulous preparations, her secretive behavior, and her sudden vanishing all suggested that there was more to the story than meets the eye. According to both sources, there was a reported sighting of a young woman walking along the road a few miles from the crash site, but authorities were never able to confirm that it was Maura. And the lack of concrete evidence has only fueled speculation and theories, ranging from a tragic accident, an intentional runaway, or even the possibility of foul play. Was Maura simply overwhelmed and looking for a fresh start? Did she encounter an individual who meant her harm? Or was her disappearance a more complicated and planned event? In the years since she vanished, amateur detectives and internet sleuths have pored over the details, poring through the sources, looking for any clues. The truth, however, has remained elusive. In the days and weeks following her disappearance, an extensive search was launched by authorities, volunteers, and even family members of the young nursing student. The search focused in and around the area where the car was discovered, hoping for any clue of Maura's whereabouts. However, despite using search and rescue dogs and even helicopters with thermal imaging equipment, all efforts yielded no trace of Maura Murray. As noted by both Wikipedia and the Charlie Project, Maura's father, Fred, also took to conducting his own searches with the assistance of others, but even these private searches failed to provide any answers. In the following years, Maura's family and friends have tirelessly advocated for her, desperately trying to raise awareness of the case and continue the investigation, and hoping to one day get the answers and closure that they deserve. As investigators and the media looked further into Maura's disappearance, it was almost impossible to not notice the similarities in another mysterious disappearance that occurred just a short distance away in Vermont, just a month after Maura vanished. Brianna Maitland also disappeared after a car accident in a very similar fashion to that of Maura Murray. According to Wikipedia, the two cases were quickly compared by the media due to the similarities in each, as both were young brunette women whose vehicles were discovered abandoned on the side of the road. While initially looked at, authorities quickly dismissed the cases as linked, and no further evidence has ever been discovered. Maura Murray's disappearance remains a deeply unsettling and heartbreaking mystery, one that has endured for far too long. Her family, friends, and those dedicated to finding the truth still hold on to hope, while countless internet sleuths continue to pore over every detail and theory in an effort to find the answers they so desperately crave. Will we ever know what happened to Maura on that cold, dark night? The mystery remains, a chilling reminder of the fragile nature of life and the enduring power of the unknown. If you're captivated by unexplained mysteries, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, so you don't miss our upcoming explorations. We want to hear what you think. Do you have any clues or theories? Let us know in the comments. We read and respond to every one. Join us every Tuesday and Thursday as we continue to unravel the mysteries that surround us.